Over the past several weeks, you may have heard a lot about so-called prediction markets, apps where you can bet on all kinds of things, all from your phone.
But in a state where sports betting is illegal, Minnesota lawmakers are trying to crack down. However, it's just not that simple. Chris Rapsky has more on exactly how it works and how it's all playing out.
Remember when the U.S. swooped in and captured the president of Venezuela?
How do you feel, sir?
This Army soldier allegedly made $400,000 off of it. According to federal fraud charges, he accurately bet when Maduro's capture would occur while helping plan the mission. In France last month, the Paris airport thermometer shot up 6 degrees in a matter of seconds, prompting a $21,000 payout for one bettor and an investigation into tampering. Even one Minnesota state senator got caught recently betting on his own congressional race while co-authoring a bill to ban that very thing. These wagers aren't made in a casino or a sports book. Prediction markets, as they're called, are on your phone in every state, regardless of state law, taking bets on just about anything you can imagine.
It definitely is a free-for-all. Every day there's new controversies.
Sam McQuillan is a journalist who's covered all the big bets, bad ethics, and court cases to date.
What would be the legal 30-second argument as to why that's legal?
Because it's not a bet.
It is a
financial swap, federally regulated by the Commodities Futures Trading Commission, as Congress gave the power to in the 1930s when they passed the CEA.
It's a loophole that turns sports betting into like stock trading.
Yeah.
The concept of futures trading goes back thousands of years. Lock in a price today for goods delivered at a later date. In the U.S., farmers and investors have used it since the 1840s to hedge against the risk of a bad harvest. Today, the two largest prediction markets, Kalshi and Polymarket, have expanded this concept to everyday events. Unlike casinos that profit when you lose, they take a percentage of every trade placed. Both companies are approved and regulated by the CFTC, whose chairman is appointed by the president.
The whole world, unfortunately, has become somewhat of a casino.
Not unfortunate for President Trump's son, Donald Jr., who is an advisor for both Polymarket and Kalshi. His investment firm reportedly invested 8 figures into Polymarket. To date, the appetite and the growth of this industry has been staggering. Major platforms brought in fewer than $100 million a month at the start of 2024 to more than $13 billion in just November of 2025. 130 times more money in less than 2 years.
Show me the combos. Building combos.
Platforms like Kalshi regularly market to college-aged males.
Do you think it's a problem among youth?
100%. Everyone I know is addicted to gambling.
Students at the U of M offered a mixed take on this issue.
I think that having the ability to bet on everything like that can be pretty harmful.
I wouldn't say it's a problem, really. No one I know really has too much of a gambling problem with Kalshi or Polymarket.
The data that comes from these markets is just so important.
Problem or not, Kalshi has won in court, and its founders continually claim this type of trading is not only legal, but needed for the future. They claim, and data shows, prediction markets can provide more accurate predictions than certain political polls or expert forecasters. They also claim these futures tools have always been available to big corporations in Wall Street. Why not the people?
Overnight.
It's legal suddenly, and there's not a thing that you can do about it according to the federal government.
Right. And according to Kalshi and Polymarket. However, we're saying our law already prohibits that kind of bets. We're just clarifying the law.
DFL State Senator John Marty co-authored a bill that defines prediction markets as a form of illegal gambling, banning their operation in the state.
If you set up a sports book here in Minnesota right now, you'd be committing a crime. If you use prediction markets to set up a sports book, that's a crime too.
The bill passed the Senate 56-10 with bipartisan support. Republican Senator Jordan Rasmussen would also like to see a prediction market ban.
I'm not opposed to on-premise gambling, but I think when you put a casino on people's phones, in their pockets, that's when you see problem gambling dramatically increase.
The bill now sits in conference committee awaiting final approval with the clock ticking.
So what do you think? You think it'll pass?
Oh, I don't bet on that kind of stuff, so.
A safe bet would be the Supreme Court taking on the issue, as 7 states are challenging the legality of prediction markets. Ultimately, what's at stake? Who controls gambling laws and whether people will be able to bet on just about anything. Chris Harapsky, KARE 11 News.
Interesting stuff there. Chris reached out to Poly Market and Kalshi for response, but he didn't hear back.